So the holidays are always an expensive time with food and presents and decorations to be bought. It can be hard to stay within budget. Well, holiday budgeting tips are here, and we have the right person for you with accredited financial counselor and founder of Her Fin IQ, Jessica Perone. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so let's get to the budgeting. What do people usually spend the most money on during the holidays? I'm curious.
Okay, so a lot of people think about gifts, right? And when they're budgeting, they think gifts. But there's so many other costs that come around the holidays.
Oh,
So, for
yeah.
example, your food and beverages. You were just talking about those New Jersey winemakers there. Holiday party expenses, holiday outfits, right, for the ladies and the guys out there, and also like grooming, nails, hair. All of that adds up as well as
Yeah.
decorations and even travel.
Ooh.
That's a good one because travel, you kind of hope for some
Yeah.
deals around the holidays. And I myself have been waiting for these Black Friday sales, hoping they come a little bit earlier, but it's not very realistic. So, what are some realistic budget goals to combat these high prices?
Well, I think that the first thing is really just to analyze your spending or guesstimate your spending from last year. When you really analyze that, it gives you some ideas of what potentially you spent on and what you can cut back on as well, so that you can set those realistic goals for yourself in the future. And then finally, just creating a spending plan. We did mention gifts, we did mention outfits, we did mention parties. So, really analyzing all the ways that you spent money last year and taking account for that kind of spending for the current year.
Well, speaking of keeping track of your spending, we heard you launched a new holiday budgeting guide. Tell us about that and how it will help consumers.
Absolutely. So, as I mentioned, and as we just learned, there's so many ways that we spend money during the holidays that we don't even think about. So, I created the budgeting worksheet that allows you to really keep track of everything that you could possibly spend money on, from gift wrap to stamps, everything. And so you can really create this budget and stick to it. Think of it as telling your money where to go as opposed to wondering where it went.
I love that idea, especially now as a newly married spouse. You kind of get the bills in January and go, where did it go off the rails? So
Off the rails.
it does goes right off the rails. So that's great. So what are some creative gift giving ideas for people that want to stick to that budget and aren't surprised by the sticker shock come January?
Absolutely. And I actually call that the holiday spending hangover. When you get those invoices in January and those credit card statements, and you're like, oh, what the heck did I spend all my money on? But to go back to your question, the best thing is just to be intentional in your gift giving. And what does that mean? That means take time to make a budget, make a list of who you actually want to spend gifts on, and then allocate monies. Be the CFO of your own holiday. Really allocate the funds that you want to spend, and then be creative with that budget. So think about, the gift of your time, or making handmade gifts, or even like cookies or whatnot. But just being really intentional about your gift giving, whether and also allocating that time for those gifts.
I love the idea of thinking of myself as a CFO of our holidays. I feel really empowered. And, we talk a lot about spending money and budgeting for the holidays, but are there any trends for holiday side gigs? Like, is there a way to make some extra money to help with the holiday hangover?
Absolutely. And I feel like people think that holiday side gigs can't be fun or fabulous. And I want to say that making money can be fabulous. And you're going to be like, what are you talking about, Jessica? But really, like, there are so many retailers out there and so many interesting gigs. So, for example, like luxury brand stores, right? So think about your favorite luxury brand that you like maybe can't afford on a day-to-day basis, but maybe you can get a side gig working on there, get discounts for the products, and make some extra bank on the side. country clubs, and even cruise ship dinner parties. You can get side gigs that way. Concerts and holiday events are great side gigs. And they also provide some excellent selfies as well.
Wow, this all sounds amazing. Can't wait to use that spreadsheet. So where can we find the guide and get more information?
Absolutely. You can go to my website, www.herfiniq.com, to sign up for the budgeting worksheet. It's actually a whole program. It takes you through how to use the spreadsheet and also steps and tips on making it the best holiday ever.
Well, Jessica Perrone, financial counselor and founder of HerFin, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all these great tips to get us through this busy financial season.
Thank you so much for having me.
CFO, Christmas Financial
CFO
Officer.
of Christmas, right here. That's what I'm going to tell Brian. He'll be like, did you check in with the CFO of Christmas? And then I'm going to tell Sienna that I'm giving her the gift of my time, and I hope she's good with that. Is that going to go over well? I don't know. I don't know. But we have coming up a fun Christmas show to tell you about. The Merchant House is putting on an iconic show. Find out what next.